Our second contestant this evening is Brianna Knowles from the Australian Institute of Innovative Materials. And Brianna's topic tonight is anti-fouling coatings, just add water. Thank you.
Any surface exposed to open air or submerged in water is at risk of being colonised by microorganisms. This is a process known as biological fouling, and it's surprising how often we encounter fouling in and around our everyday lives. Around our homes, we find examples of fouling in the form of mildew growing on our walls and ceilings, mould building up in our tile grout, and fungus growing on our roofs. More broadly, fouling impacts a whole range of industries, from the build-up of algal slimes on ship hulls to the contamination of medical devices, which can lead to the spread of infection and disease. To try and reduce fouling, scientists have resorted to incorporating toxic biocides into coatings, which kill microorganisms that come into contact with them. But these coatings suffer from short lifetimes, and we find that they can have detrimental environmental impacts. As a result, new strategies are being developed to try and create more sustainable and environmentally friendly anti-fouling coatings. One such strategy centres on a compound that is not only abundantly available, but is essential for everyday life: water. Now, I'm not talking about using water and elbow grease to remove pre-existing fouling, but instead about the development of hydrophilic or water-loving coatings that can prevent fouling from occurring altogether. Hydrophilic coatings take advantage of the natural structuring abilities of water, forming a tightly bound water layer at the coating interface. This water layer is highly ordered and essentially forms a barrier that cannot be penetrated by fouling species. So by choosing to prepare coatings from hydrophilic materials, we can non-specifically prevent fouling from a whole range of microorganisms. The development of such coatings has been the focus of my PhD research. I have been working with silica nanoparticles which naturally present hydrophilic properties in combination with zwitterionic polymers which can bind water through electrostatic interactions to form hydrophilic anti-fouling coatings. Now, what's remarkable about these materials is that they can be prepared simply in an aqueous solution, they're highly processable, and we can apply them to surfaces using a whole range of coating techniques. The coatings that I have prepared are not only hydrophilic, they're non-toxic, and they have shown exceptional resistance to fouling by proteins, bacteria, and fungus. Based on this result, I hope that we can do away with the inclusion of toxic and harmful biocides to prevent biofouling, and instead, just add water.
Thank you. Thank you, Brianna. And we are going again to... You have to let that microphone go at some point, Stephen. But
I will.
We'll go to Stephen again. Thank you.
Brianna, I'm just wondering, I mean, obviously there's a great many situations I could envisage where these sorts of coatings be useful. Can you tell us about the different types of surfaces that you think this new approach will be useful for, and have you tested it on different types of surfaces? Yeah.
Of course, I mean, there's a whole range of different surfaces that would benefit from this. One that probably jumps to mind is anything biomedical industry, so anything that is at risk of being contaminated by things like proteins and bacteria, which is some of the proteins and bacteria we've looked at as well to see how well our coatings can resist the adhesion and the permanence of those on the coatings. Another example, as I said, is in the marine environment, so the build-up of algal slimes and things like diatoms on our coatings. And a third example is in terrestrial materials, so anything that's exposed outside, so you can have things like fungus and moss growing on these surfaces, and we've also had a look at how well our coatings can prevent those from growing on them as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brianna.